Well, everyone, welcome back to a very exciting episode of the Storybox podcast. Today, my friends, I'm delighted to welcome a star from the hit TV show on Apple TV Plus called Ted Lasso. Now, for those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Kola Bokinni. Now, he plays, guess who? The Captain Isaac on the show. He's also an actor that has been seen in other shows on Netflix, Top Boy, and their other popular series, Black Mirror 2. You know, Kola could go on and on about incredible achievements, man. I'm sure they're many and incredible, but welcome so much to the Storybox podcast today, man.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you here, man. Before we dive officially into your backstory, how you got started, and all the incredible things that you're doing today with your career and your story, the very first question that I do have for you is one that I love asking all my guests at the very start. I'm curious to hear your response to it. It is, what does success look like for you?
Success looks like for me, that's a tricky one. Ordering Deliveroo and not caring about the delivery fees. Because they are a mortgage. They're an arm and a leg. You know, when you look at the fees and you're like, hold on a second, I'm just gonna get my jacket on and go and get this because this is extortion. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Success is for me is, you know, as long as your family's good and you're good and, you know, not looking at your bank account and also doing what you love and waking up every morning and actually wanting to get out of bed.
Yeah.
That's success for me. Waking up every morning and loving what you do. That's success for me.
When was the moment for you, man, that you realized this was success? Has it been this gradual thing over the course of your life, or was there more of a catalyst moment?
I'm still on the journey, well and truly at the beginning. You know, the start line for me. Success is it's not. No one says to you, "Oh, your show's gonna be a hit," or "You're good at acting." Actors are always questioning themselves. Like, I probably questioned myself 600 times today. You know, every week you get that moment. You're like, should I just should I pack it in? But then, like, you know, you can't because you love the arts. With the shows that I'm on, well, as you've mentioned, Top Boy and Black Mirror were already established shows, you know, with cult followings before I was lucky enough to be able to be a part of it. So it was quite different for those shows. But for Ted Lasso, when I tell you we had no idea, we had no idea. When we were making it, we were just like, let's have some fun with this and see where we can go, you know? And, you know, we got some really good editors. I'm joking. We got some really good writers, and we got some fantastic actors, and we got all around cast, crew, you know, everybody on set. It's just really good at your job, you know. I'm kind of in awe all the time. You know, I just like, you know, basically doing what I love, and I've got a football past. So, you know, it's just kind of like a double, you know, bonus.
So did you always want to be an actor, or was this something like unexpected as well?
I tell you what, you know, like, you know, I grew up in the era of the action hero, you know, Arnie and Sylvester and, you know, 90s. Jean-Claude, you know, I'm talking about, you know, Steven Seagal. So like, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be a footballer so bad, but I had like a realistic dad. You know what I mean? He was like, realistically, I've seen you play, and you're okay. You're good. You're good for this area. No, but there's an area with another kid that's twice as better than you that might not make it, and so on and so forth. And I was like, that's a bit harsh to tell a 9-year-old. But anyway, I'm talking about
the extra vote of confidence that you need as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, you know, you know. But you know, we as kids do, you tell them to not do something, and they go and do it. They do it twice as hard, you know. That's why I think when I become a parent, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, man, you guys, yeah, go out, party. Yeah, wear them short skirts. Oh yeah, wear that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, do what you want. And they're not going to do it because it's like, oh, dad said do it. No, that's not cool. But anyway, that's a tangent. I'm on a tangent. Basically, back to your question. I wanted to be Vinnie Jones. So Vinnie Jones was a footballer, and then he became an actor. And there was a film called Mean Machine, and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, he's a footballer actor, a flapper, or whatever." I said it at the time, but the plan was retire from football at 50. No, I didn't know maths sometimes, and become a world famous actor. But it didn't quite work out halfway. But I did one thing, you know. so yeah, we're cool.
So how did you get your start in acting, man?
Well, it kind of fell into it, you know. I was at school, you know, and I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I did drama, I really did enjoy it, but I didn't actually. I didn't think there would a career would manifest for me. I was just like, you know, there's no chance. You know, there was no one in my school or that I hanged around with that was actors. Everyone played football, and that was the whole, you know, mantra, if you would call it. I got asked to do a community project, come down to the community centre, give your ideas because they're going to put on a little play, whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm from Peckham, you know, so I'll go down there. And then I went down to the centre and just drew on a massive, I don't know what to call it, card paper that just kind of went on and on and on. And we drew what our experiences of Peckham was like. And afterwards, they kind of asked us, why did you draw this, whatever? And then they kind of wrote it down and developed a play out of all the pictures. From the play, I got asked to audition for it. I auditioned for it, but there wasn't no character for it. So I pitched my brother and his girlfriend, because they're hilarious. And funny enough, they're Joey and Monica. So, yeah, but anyway, I pitched the character of Joey, his girlfriend Monica, and they writ the characters into the play, and I got to play Joey, and they cast a girl as Monica. But we did the play for 2 weeks in Peckham, and then after the 2 weeks, they surprised us by saying that we have an additional 2 weeks at the Royal Court Theatre in Sloane Square, which is quite a massive theatre in London. So we did it. We did the 2 weeks there in front of live audience, sold out every night, and critics were there from the Guardian, the Independent, you know, Evening Standard, and I got really great reviews. As you can say, the writer said to me, "Oh, you got really good reviews. You should try getting an agent." She submitted the reviews for me because I didn't have a clue at the time how to do anything. So from there, I got an agent, and then I started auditioning, and the rest is history.
Wow, man! So, how does someone go from, you know, auditioning and all that sort of stuff to then being on the hit TV show Ted Lasso? What was going through your mind when you received the script for Ted Lasso?
You see, it's a funny story how I got the part in Ted Lasso. I'm really good friends with another actor, Will Poulter, and he's really good friends with Jason, who plays Ted, obviously. And Jason asked Will, "Do you know any London-based actors that have good comedy bones, that can be funny and also can play football?" I did a film called War Machine with Will.
Yep.
And we've been great friends since then. And he knows I can play football, so he recommended me to Jason. And then I kind of, yeah. I said, yeah. He said, oh, there's this really good thing that's going to happen in London. Yeah. He must have said it like 5 times. And then the time came, he's like, yeah, I've told, because at the time I was at Will's agency. I was with the same, I was with an agent at his agency, and he told that agent, and then that agent now got me the audition, and then, yeah, that's what happened.
Wow, man. And the rest is history, pretty much.
Yeah, because I had to send a football video, a video showing that I can actually play football, and I'm not lying, But imagine I was lying. Imagine I was just some big lie, and I was telling everybody, yeah, I can play football, and I'm just like completely rubbish. But then I went to audition at Theo Park's office, which is the London UK casting for Ted Lasso, and got the role of Isaac, and from there just kind of was living the dream, really, playing football, acting. I mean, I've been acting for a while from then.
Yeah.
But we'd all play football like when we had downtime. We wasn't playing football on screen. So yeah, it was really fun.
Have you ever been worried about being typecast as that person that can only play football and then be in those sorts of like sport related movies?
Yeah. I was worried about that for a while. There was one point in my career that I did a lot of soldier movies, like one after the other. And I was like, hold on a second, something's happening here. I did, Black Mirror, I did War Machine, I did Annihilation, I did Hunt the Killer, I did, what's it called again? Can't even remember. But I did a few, and I was kind of like, I'm in trouble here. I need something to shift. And I did like a couple of indie comedies, but that wasn't enough to make me think that I'm not already, typecasted and that's it. Yeah. Then I did Top Boy. But in a sense, that was London gangs, and how some minority of people portray me as, that's the only demographic that he can, be in. That's the only kind of casting he can get. So I wanted to bring the most fun and love inside in Isaac, to completely change the narrative that was happening to me. I'm still working on it, but I believe that I am no longer a part of one box, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. What's your creative process usually like when let's use Isaac, for example, what was going through your mind in sort of forming this character and what you wanted him to be to show up for the story or to inform the story?
I had a lot of experience with the multitude of characters that I've used to create Isaac, playing football, and the position he plays and the way that they are, and I thought to myself, maybe Isaac, it's not like he's not got a short temper. He doesn't have the, it'll be wrong for me to say capacity, but he only thinks one thought at a time.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got space or time to be overthinking. So that's why he'll give you the blunt truth of the situation, which can be good or bad. It doesn't make him a bad person. It doesn't make him a good person. Might make him the best person, but that's why I thought if I did that, if I just thought of one thing at a time, the objective that's happening, whatever's happening in Isaac's world at the time, then I can tap into the way Isaac would think.
Mm.
You know, if he's a leader, then he's got his leader cap on. If he's a centre back, then he's kind of like, you know, tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You know, like what they do to racehorses.
Mm.
You know, so like that kind of thing. Yeah.
For someone that doesn't know the show, doesn't know your character at all, how would you describe the show to them to get them interested in potentially watching the show?
Oh man, that is a difficult thing to answer because, you know, there was so much backlash from the season 1 trailer.
Mm.
You know, people were like, no, I'm not going to watch this show. Because even like showing clips of the show doesn't even tap into, I mean, a minute, you know, percentage of what the show actually brings. I'd say it's real. I'd say it highlights areas that happen to all of us in our everyday life. I feel that I'd say that you would relate to it in more than one way. I'd say that you'd probably, you know, relate to one of the characters, you know, because there's a few of them. Whatever background, wherever race you're from, you're gonna relate to one of the characters and be like, oh, I'm similar to what Sam Obisanya, or I'm similar to Danny Rojas. I'm similar to Ted Lasso. I'm similar to Coach Beard. You know, the list goes on. You know, I'd say that it's not just for one, you know, demographic. It's for all. Yeah. You know, whoever you are, you can watch it. You know, and I'd say it's a lot of fun and it might make you cry a little bit.
Yeah. I'd say give it a chance. Like, don't just judge it from the small clips that you see in a trailer. I mean, a trailer is to give you a little taste of the bigger picture. Like, they're not going to give you the whole picture straight away. That'd be ruining the whole point of the show, right?
Yeah. So I can't tell you how many times I've watched the trailer and be like, oh, I know the whole film now. I'm just like, I don't want to watch it anymore.
I get what's going to happen.
Just showed me the ending, the middle, the beginning. I'm like, now I don't even want to watch it. Yeah. But I'd say, give it a chance, and it might just surprise you.
Yeah, there were some very emotional moments and scenes in there, and I like how the show is quite real. I mean, I'm not a fan of soccer by any stretch of the imagination because I'm Aussie, and Aussies call it soccer, not football. Sorry if that offends people. But I just found myself just connecting with the raw emotion of the actual story. Like, of course, that for me was like what I fell in love with. And of course the characters as well, and how they were evolving as the show is going on and how every episode is going on. That for me is the sign of a good show, is the evolution between characters and the story and how it informs one another.
That's the thing. That's another thing that people should know if you're about to watch this show, is that just because it's a show about football doesn't mean it's a show about football.
Yep, exactly.
You know, it's a show about a little bit of football, but also a lot about the lives of the people around football, and the multitude of emotions and situations that we face every single day.
Yeah,
and they face it truthfully. There's no sugarcoating. It's just this is the way it is. But it's also a show that teaches you to be just that little bit kinder. It's just to be like, oh wait, just have a little bit more patience. So just a little bit, not a lot more, but maybe just a little bit. In everyday life, it can teach you a couple of things. That's what it's taught me a few things. I've watched the show and I've watched it and forgot I'm in it. I forgot that I'm in it, and I'm like, oh, this is a really good show. And then I pop up and I'm like, what? I want to say
That's me.
That's me. Oh yeah.
Now I remember.
Yeah, like I'm actually a fan of the show, and I'm not trying to be corny or anything like that. I'm not trying to be cheesy. I'm actually a fan of the show, and that's the thing about it. Like that's why we go on about it so much, because even the cast and the crew and everybody around the show genuinely love the show. Care about it.
What has been your most vulnerable moment on the show, and then spinning it around to what has been your most vulnerable moment in your life, just as a whole?
Yeah, you see, there's a moment in season 2 where Isaac kind of loses his zhuzh. His Baba Boom is panache. I don't know what. Yeah, his mojo. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that happened to me in my real life. In acting. I wasn't getting any castings, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm done. And it just took me to kind of have a hard look at myself and realize that you shouldn't take yourself so seriously, and you shouldn't take life that serious. I mean, by all means, take yourself seriously, your man. But you should have fun. Remember, there's fun. Remember the reasons why I got into it. Whatever anybody that's listening to this does. Why did you get into whatever field you're in? Remember that, and then you might come out of. That's what it helps me. In my mental block. But that's one of the good things that the show highlights is mental health. Yeah. And that's a big thing that not many of us talk about. But maybe we should. And it will be better for all of us to kind of just let it out and breathe. Yeah, but help me in my life to be honest with myself, and Isaac had to be honest with himself and be reminded why he does this, because sometimes we forget why we're doing this, and we can be really hard on ourselves. And I believe, 100% believe that our harshest critics are ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves, and sometimes we need to give ourselves a break.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that front, man. I mean, I could speak to you forever about mental health and the importance of mental health. That's another reason why I like the show, is it's a good reminder for people to take care of themselves a bit better. And I like how you mentioned that we're our own worst critic at times. We beat ourselves up quite often. And it's kind of like, why do we do that? What's the point of it? But I'm curious, with the time that we have left, man, like, what do you do? I feel like this would be helpful for some people. But what do you do currently with your own mental health to take care of it?
I try to, when we get the moments of anxiety where we're like, oh, this person thought this and this person thought this and this person's thinking about this, when really and truly nobody's thinking anything. Everybody's thinking the same thing, and nobody's thinking about anybody else but themselves. I try to remember that. That we are all human and we are all going to make mistakes today, tomorrow, next week. It's just how you deal with those mistakes that kind of, push you forward. Yeah. If I was to wallow and, feel sorry for myself, it will only be for a moment. And I'm allowed that moment. You're allowed to feel sorry for yourself, but my mum used to say whenever I was younger and I didn't get something, didn't get a football trial or the audition or whatever, she'd say, go in the bathroom and lay it all out. But when you leave that bathroom, you get right back on that horse and you're fine. When you leave that bathroom, you're now again a champion. Yeah. And that works for me. I'm allowed to give yourself time to lay it out, because keeping stuff in is what destroys us in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, we're allowed those moments. I mean, I have them all the time.
We're human. We're human, man. We're not robots, you know. We're not robots, you know.
We all have feelings, man.
yeah, we all have feelings. We're thinking a million things a minute, you know, and we're allowed, you know, to feel bad. You know, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay.
Yep.
But it's also not okay to dwell on it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, because that's just like, you know, that's a lot of okays, but there's something in there. There's something in there that I'm trying to get across, you know, and whoever's going through a hard time that needs to hear this, you know, where it's like you're not alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. I hate when people say, "Oh, we're all alone." No, you're not. You know, there's always someone in your life that's thinking about you, that's caring about you, and just go to that person. You know who that person is.
Yeah.
You know? And pride is also a killer. But, you know, we can speak about that another time.
The blinding ego, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to bring you back on, man. This is going to be a lot of fun going into all these subjects. We're going to have, definitely going to bring you back on. My final question for you, man, is my all-time favorite question I ask everyone at the end of all my conversations. It's a hypothetical one, but I want you to imagine with me that you've been able to reach the age of 100. All your friends and your family have decided to put together a film for you of everything you've ever said and everything you've ever done. Don't ask me how in the world they got it all. We'll just call it magic for the sake of argument. But they've been able to get it and show it to you on your 100th birthday. What do you want that film to say and to show about your life?
That is a question. I've never had that one before. I'd like that video to say he did his best. You know, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. You know, you can always, you know, you can't fault a trier at the end of the day, you know. Whatever, if you fall down, at least if you get back up, that takes twice the courage, you know. So I'd like to the title of my life movie to be Kola did his best. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like we all fail. You know, you can be Bill Gates, and he's probably failed a million times before he. You know, it's just about doing it. You know, you can fail 99 times, but on the 100th try, you can get it. So all it takes is one yes in it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, one yes. You can have 100 no's. You have one yes, and that's what you got to concentrate on, getting that yes.
Yeah. Man, it's a powerful conversation that I know is going to help a lot of people. Like, that last send-off message was awesome. Definitely going to bring you back on to continue on this chat. But thank you so much, man, for your time, your story, and for joining me today for part 1 on the Storybox podcast.
Wicked, man. Been a pleasure, mate.